Hello. How's everybody doing out there? Yes. Man, it's been a hell of a week, man. It's been a hell of a week. A lot of shit going on. A lot of shit happening all around, man. I've been watching the news lately. You know what I mean? Today, a lone gunman tried to shoot Trump. Tried to assassinate Trump. Terrible. I mean, my day was long. First of all, let me start there. My day was long. I put out a book today. And today of all days, Trump get a shot taken at him. But yeah, I wrote this book called The Course of My Life. And this book is just talking about my life, things that I've gone through, things that I've been through, my journey, my entrepreneurship, and just furthering my works on what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It is my fourth book. It's the first book that I did that had some details, a lot of details in my life and things that I've been going through. And there's a lot of things that I haven't even put in this book. So needless to say, there's more coming. As long as my life lives, as long as my life is in existence, I'm not going to ever stop creating and innovating and coming up with new ways and blazing new paths. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about for me. Speaking of blazing new paths, if there's any affiliate programs, any and brand ambassador programs, any businesses, small businesses that need promotions, I'm your guy. I'm here. I'm available. You can utilize my platform. Concept Podcast is on YouTube and everywhere podcast is available. So if there's any brand affiliates, brand ambassadors, any businesses, small or big, give me a shout so I could promote your business on my podcast. You know what I mean? It'll help me further what I'm doing. It'll help finance what I'm doing, and it'll also help you because you get that spot on the podcast where you can be more visible. And trust me, when I say I promote on social media all over the world. All over the world, I'm promoting on social media. Everywhere, in person. If you need me to, do a spot for you. If you want me to shoot a podcast somewhere, whatever. Just let me know what you want me to say. Let me know exactly what you want the promotion to be about. What do you want me to talk about in the promotion, basically? And that's what I'll do. I'll get on it for you. Right now, I don't know, far as fees go, how would I charge a brand or an affiliate to start promoting for them? It's something that I'm new to. So, I'm very negotiable on the prices. I'm not trying to hurt nobody out here. I just don't want to be hurting my damn self. So, yeah, that's what it's about, man. Another thing is, back to the books. I'm making my books more available as well. My new book, The Course of My Life. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. I'm thinking about what I'm doing too much and not actually doing what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? That's a big problem of mine. Sometimes I get caught in my mind and I'm thinking about what I'm actually doing, like what I'm actually trying to convey or say, or even just messing with this phone and this phone at the same time. It's a lot going on for me. But yeah, the first book that I'm making available on Barnes and Noble um, is The Course of My Life, and that's available on Barnes and Noble, Amazon Kindle, Google Books, and Apple Books. It's just hard, sometimes it's a little tricky making sure your ducks are all in a row with every vendor out there, with every streaming service or ebook service there is out there. You got to make sure that you sign everything online, and make sure that everybody gets what they supposed to want. They want information. They want you to do tax forms. They want to know prices. They want information about the book. They want the book. They want to make sure the whole package is complete. So that's what I've been doing, making sure the packages are complete for these different ebook market venues. You know what I mean? So that way people could download my book and have them readily available. Also, if there's anybody that want hard copies of my book, physical copies of my book, you can get with me. It's not something that I have available on hand. I'll get the copies printed up and send them to you, mail them to you, however I got to do it, for a small fee. You know what I mean? For the price of the book and the price of the shipping and handling and stuff like that, and getting it printed up. So the book is on sale for $20. That's the retail price of it, $20. It will be slightly more for the printed up copy, for the physical copy, because it costs to print books. It costs to print books, and it costs to send books as well. So if you're close to me, I could get it printed up and hand it to you personally. But if you're not close to me, then we're going to have to be talking about shipping and handling and things like that. So that can get a bit tricky. But yeah, man, I'm still moving. I'm still working. You know what I mean? Not working at your normal, typical 9 to 5 job or anything like that. I'm still working at the things that I work at. I've put a number of new songs out there, man. Not to mention completing this book, which was a huge milestone, because I haven't worked on any books since Nature's Features. So now, with this book out the way, this gives me space and opportunity to work on my next installment, which is more than likely going to be Moonlit Marshes, about Marshall Cuts. And he's trying to make it out of Louisiana, but he's been blackballed by different organizations. And yeah, his life sounds a lot like my life right now. But yeah, that's what's going on. You know what I mean? No pun intended. This book been in details. If you've been watching my podcast or listening to my podcast, because I've been talking about this book before you can actually see my podcast. The video aspect of my podcast is relatively new. But Moonlit Marshes, the idea, the concept behind that book isn't new. I've been talking about it for a while. I just haven't been able to complete it because of different things, going through different things, having different transitions in my life, moving from place to place. Right now, things has been unstable, to say the least. There's a bit of stability where I'm at, but there's no guarantee that I'll even be here. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? When you got to do what you got to do. You got to move the way you got to move. And even though others may not see that or notice it or appreciate what you're going through and how you're handling it, and you still got to make moves and move forward. That's what it is. I say that because throughout all this, I kept working. I'm gonna continue to work. I'm gonna continue to work on the things that I want to build for me, my personal entrepreneurship, my personal business, my personal journey. You know what I mean? Is all that I'm working on. I don't feel the need right now to work for anybody else. You know what I mean? I don't feel the want or need to work for anybody else. I mean, besides having a little scratch in your pocket. You know what I mean? We all want a couple dollars to hold us down or whatever. You know what I mean? So we can go spend some money here and there or whatever. But currently, I'm just standing still. I'm being patient and I'm waiting for my bag to drop, my blessings to drop. You know what I mean? Some of y'all look at blessings as being a bag, but all the times getting a bag, i.e., getting some money or whatever, all the times that's not the blessing. Sometimes the blessing is just you learning, you growing, you elevating, and you constantly moving forward with whatever it is that you're manifesting into your life. That way, you can see something come from it. You can see residuals come from it. It's not all about the residuals for me, because when I wrote my first two books, it wasn't about any residuals. It was about me leaving a legacy for my children, with morals and values. That was about passing on strong morals and values to my children, letting them know what I believe, you know what I mean? And letting them know, giving them an outline, you know what I mean? Not saying that they would have to believe exactly the way I believe or to instill my very exact morals and values in them, because they're going to see the world through different lenses. You know what I mean? They're different personalities. They're two different little people who's going to learn in their way. You know what I mean? And I can't change that at all. You know what I mean? All I could do is give them my morals and values and let them know what I believe and what I stand on. And from there, they could take that and make their own calculations on how they want to live their life and how they want their morals and values built. How they want to build their foundation of their life. You gotta excuse me. I just ate some pasta, man. I'm kind of out of wind. You know what I mean? Because I cooked. You know what I mean? I'm a very good cook. And, today when nobody else cooked, so I cooked. I made some pasta with minced garlic. Well, tomato sauce, garlic tomato sauce with minced garlic, jalapenos. I chopped up some sausage, put it in the spaghetti sauce and everything, and I let it simmer. And I boiled my noodles away from the pasta sauce and everything. I had a mixed noodle. You know what I mean? Mixed noodles, different type of pastas, and I boiled that to perfection. Then took that, put it into the pasta sauce, right? Just enough, not too much. You know how you get that noodle just right. You want it soaked, but not too much. So you know what I mean. You want to taste the sauce. You don't want it to be overpowering. That noodle to pasta sauce ratio was perfect. That's what I'm gonna say. My noodle to pasta sauce ratio was perfect. Then I boiled some green snap peas. You know what I mean? Boiled them up so we get the greens in there, and made some garlic toast, some Texas toast or whatever. The one that come in a pack, frozen or whatever. Just pop them in the microwave oven and let them go. And that's what I did, man. And that was fucking delicious. I mean, with the sausage and the tomato sauce, it wasn't like Italian sausage neither. It was like a breakfast sausage kind of. Because I don't got no Italian sausage. I don't got Italian sausage to put in the fucking pasta. But I knew I needed some type of meat. So what I did was I chopped down some breakfast sausages and just had a little sausage bites throughout the pasta. So it was delicious. You know what I mean? With a little Parmesan cheese on it, the kick of the jalapenos and all that. And I seasoned my sauce up perfectly. Delicious. And now my greedy ass is feeling out of wind. I'm feeling very fucking winded right now. But it was good as fuck, man. It was worth it. I gotta start working out more too, man. Cause I lost a lot of weight. I had my weight down. You know what I mean? I had my weight down for a while. Not for a long time, but because I always been up and down with my weight fluctuation. But I had my weight down for a while, you know what I mean, where I could actually see like, well, wow, I'm starting to, you know what I mean, be one of the little, cock diesel dudes with all the abs and shit like that. And now it's starting to come back because I'm more of a homebody. I'm in the house all the time, you know what I mean, just writing and making music and making videos and things like that. So I don't really get a chance to get out, get active, get on my bike and stuff like that. But I got to start doing more. You know what I mean? Even if I'm in a house, I just want to focus on doing my crunches and my sit-ups and my push-ups. And, I do my VR game. That's a lot of the weight that I lost was attributed to the VR game. Not to mention, smoking weed, not eating a lot, stress and things like that can make you lose a lot of weight or gain a lot of weight, depending on how you take it and what situation you in while you're being stressed out. While you're being stressed out, what what do you have available to you? You know what I mean? If you're stressed out and you got food available to you, you won't eat a lot of fucking food and you're gonna gain some weight. If you're very stressed out and you got weed available to you, you're gonna smoke a lot of weed, and you're gonna lose weight or gain weight because weed gives you the munchies. It's up to you. I know anytime I smoke and things like that, I don't even be thinking about food. I just be thinking about creating. Weed makes me create. I never smoked weed and just, well, I'm not gonna say never, because when I was younger, I smoked weed. I get the munchies. I get to eating every fucking thing. But lately, not lately because I ain't had none lately, but when I did, it didn't make me want to pig out or nothing. It just made me want to go record a song, go write that book. You know what I mean? Go do that game stream or go do that podcast or whatever it is that I'm getting into. Yeah, but man, I couldn't believe, this morning, my book was complete at 4 in the morning. I completed my book at 4 in the morning, right? Did the finishing touches on it. I uploaded it to Amazon Kindle, and by the time it was 6 o'clock, the book was already out. Just the day before, I was posting online how the book would be available soon. I had no fucking idea it was going to be available this soon. You know what I mean? Like the next morning, basically. So I thank God for that. You know what I mean? It took me pulling an all-nighter to really see it come to fruition, to really make that deadline happen. And it happened. You know what I mean? I was ecstatic. I couldn't even get no sleep until later on in the day. And I took me a nice long fucking nap, a good power nap. You know what I mean? A great fucking power nap. And from that, I woke up, you know what I mean? My son was there chilling. And, we chilled for a while, I laid around, looking at my phone, doing more promotions, checking on the book, checking on other places, other ebook markets where I could put my book so people can download it, and you know what I mean. I can get it seen more, because I wanna have a bestseller. I want to have a bestseller. So I do my promotions and I make sure that I put my book in places where they could get reviewed and where they could also get seen. Um, I do different sales and promotions and things like that also on Amazon and everything. Just because when you offer your book at a discounted rate, what Amazon and Kindle do is they'll put your book in a special category, allowing more people to see your book. When they're shopping for books or they're shopping for their ebooks or audiobooks or whatever, they'll put yours in the forefront. Like, hey, Mark Pagan has a book and it's on sale right now. You know what I mean? You can get this book, or what Barnes and Noble did when I was looking on their website, they'll have a buy one get one free sale on books. So I put one book up for sale, and then another book, they can get that book for free when they buy a copy. They buy my new book. When they buy the Course of My Life, then they'll get Nature's Features for free. Something like that. But every ebook market has their own deals, their own coupons, their own special promotions that they run. So then I found out that at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania, Butler, PA, Trump had a rally and he got shots taken at him. They covered him up with the Secret Service. He got up talking about, where's my fucking shoe? Where are my shoes? Let me get my shoes. Hold on. Then he fist pumped in the air, man. And the crowd fucking cheered. You know, he had blood on the side of his fucking face and everything, man. It was horrible and it was beautiful all at the same time. You know, first of all, I want to say I'm glad that Trump is all right. I'm glad Donald Trump is all right. I'm glad, that sniper didn't take his life, because at first they thought it was a guy in the crowd. I know they said like 2 people got shot, 1 died. They had a guy dead on the fucking roof. They had a guy out there who was giving dead people mouth to mouth, trying to save people. God bless his heart. And I mean, it was a shit show, but it showed unity. It showed a level of camaraderie, because you even seen everybody in the crowd. They wasn't worried about running. The entire rally, like all of these people are here right now watching you campaign for your candidacy to be president. All of these people are around, and not one of them ran. I didn't see nobody running. People was ducking. People was getting out the way because they don't want to get shot. But nobody ran. Nobody ran. Everybody stayed there with Trump, and they wanted to see if the president was going to be okay and how he made it out and everything. That people were looking for the gunman and everything, trying to see where he was at and where the shots was coming from and things like that. I mean, it showed that people that people have a general love for Donald Trump. Not everybody feels the hate that's built up between these two parties, between Democrats and Republicans and all that. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all human. They build up this hate, this propaganda, this back and forth between the right and the left and things like that. And it's like, at the end of the day, they're just 2 men running to do a job. One man believes that he could do the job better than another man. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what it is. There's no need for the loss of life in that type of situation. You know what I mean? There's no need to take a shot at the presidential candidate, a man that's actually running for office to make your country better, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with him or not. He's running. He's a candidate to run your country, and you want to take a shot at this guy, even if you didn't die, even if you didn't get killed. You know what I mean? And your blood matter splattered all over a fucking roof somewhere, right? Why would you want to take a shot at your president? You know what I mean? Everybody who sees you around is going to fucking hate your guts, even if you live. You killed yourself. Anytime you want to take a shot at a prominent figure in our society like that, especially a president. I don't know nobody who popped a shot at a president and got to see another day. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe y'all could tell me. Maybe y'all could tell me a person who took a shot at any president in any age, in any era, any time of our history, and got to live to tell about it. Or got to live to tell his grandkids, hey, I remember the time I tried to kill the president. Da, 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 da. It'll never happen. To be honest, when it all happened, because I didn't see no blood or nothing, Trump touches it. I thought it was, I'm going to tell you the truth, I thought it was a hoax. I thought that Trump put somebody up to stage all this and make it look like somebody was trying to assassinate him and everything. Especially the way he got up and he was like, America, yeah. After he got his ear shot off by a fucking bullet. I thought it was a hoax. I'm like, oh, maybe he's doing this just because he knows that he's more likely to get the votes of people if he just almost got assassinated. You know what I mean? If our former president running to be the next president almost get assassinated campaigning for his candidacy to be president is like the perfect storm to get you back in the office. You know what I mean? That's what I thought at first. But you know what I mean? Especially when I seen his air, I'm thinking about the trajectory of the bullet, where they said that the president was on the podium and he said that this guy was adjacent, I think, over his right shoulder, right? Over his right shoulder. And this guy was up in the stands up high, back here. And he took a shot at him. I'm thinking to myself, if the guy shot from the stands at that range, at that close, with any caliber bullet, that wouldn't have been a graze. That would have been a fatal wound. That would have been a headshot, basically. But then further investigation showed that this guy wasn't in the stands. I guess something else was going on in the stands, and people actually got killed in the stands, maybe by the person who was shooting from the roof way back there. And it was like, somebody killed him. As soon as he started popping shots, I guess somebody started popping shots at him. And, far as I know, far as being close to presidents and stuff like that, while they're campaigning or while they're moving around, you always know that they got a certain level of security with them. They already know what's going on in any area that they're going to have the president traveling through, stopping, and stuff like that. They know what's going on. They'll have counter snipers and stuff like that. That's another reason I thought that it was just fake news, as Trump would say, right? I thought it was fake news because it's like you had people reporting like they've been seeing this guy standing up there, doing something, looking suspicious and out of place. Secret Service noticed this and everything. It's like he had the perfect window, a perfect opportunity to get those shots off. You know what I mean? And depending on his skill level, he could choose just to graze him or just to, wound him and not make his shot fatal. You know what I mean? And then take him out so this way he can't live to tell the story of somebody paying him to do it. That's another conspiracy theory right there. You know what I mean? But who am I to say? Who am I to say? Maybe it was just, either way, they're going to tighten up security. They're going to tighten up security. They're going to start putting them glass barriers up or something like that, them see-through barriers. So this way, you can't take a shot at the president no more. They're going to have the president running around in a box like the fucking Pope or something because they don't want nobody to be able to kill the president. You know what I mean? Or maybe they won't. Maybe that was the perfect opportunity to seal the deal for Trump being our next president again. Because more than likely, he's the next president. More than likely, Trump is going back into office again. He's the next president again, especially with a display like that. The heroism, you know what I mean? The selflessness to be given a campaign and to get up and just be worrying about his shoes. I thought to myself, them shoes must be really fucking expensive for the first thing you to think about is, where's my shoes? Let me get my shoes. He wanted them fucking shoes. Them shoes gotta cost some across a grip or mean a lot to him. For the first thing you thinking about after somebody just blew your fucking ear off. You know what I mean? For the first thing that you think about is, where my shoes at? Let me grab my shoes. Then you got the shoes? All right. He gave the Black Power fist. He gave the America, woo. You know what I mean? With the blood on his face and shit like that. That moment will go down in history forever. That moment will live like in the eyes in history forever, man. Like, then they talked about I believe that Trump had a vest on. Maybe he took a shot that we didn't know about. Maybe he took a shot to the vest, to the chest that we didn't know about. That's some scary shit. Cause that gunman got off about 3 shots. You heard that. That gunman, when you listen to him, he says something, and that shit said blah, blah, blah. He got off about 3 shots. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bolt action rifle, because a bolt action rifle would have took you a lot more time. Well, not a lot more time, but splitting of the seconds makes it more time for you to put the thing back and all that shit. So whatever he had, it was automatic. Um, they don't think that it was a huge caliber weapon either. Actually, I seen debris on his ear. It looked like he had a pellet, like right there where his ear was injured at. It looked like it was something white or something translucent right there on his ear, and it wasn't the earpiece. Maybe it was the earpiece. I don't fucking know. But it looked like a pellet of some sorts. Like he got hit by a high powered BB gun or pellet rifle or something like that. I have no idea. Because at that range, even if it was a sniper, you know what I mean, and he would have got shot, that's a fatal wound. You know what I mean? No, like, unless he turned his head at the perfect moment, you know what I mean, to make this miss happen. You know what I mean? And that's just a miracle right there. If that's the case, if they find out what caliber he got shot at, and it was all about Donald Trump turning his head slightly, making the sniper miss, that means he was ordained by God to be your goddamn president. That's the only way could have made a professional sniper miss. You know what I'm mad about the sniper about? Why the fuck his name had to be Mark? Why the sniper name had to be Mark? Why is always a nigga named Mark? I mean, like, how you get mad when people do dumb shit from that's your race. Like, I know white people was pissed off that he got to be white. You know what I mean? Black people would have been pissed off if he was black. Chinese people would have been mad if he was Chinese. I'm mad I share a name with this piece of shit. You know what I mean? Why his name had to be Mark? When I heard that, I was like, oh fuck. He made all the marks in the world look bad. You know what I mean? Certain people gonna think about him when they hear your name. Mark, oh, ain't that the guy name that tried to assassinate Trump? Nobody don't want that shit. Nobody don't want their name, their race, their color, or creed associated with anybody out here doing dumb shit like that. Trying to assassinate people and all this shit. Well, get out of here with the bullshit. But I digress. We just trying to make it, man. I'm just honestly making light of this situation. Making light of the whole situation, man. Cause ain't nothing you could do about it. You know what I mean? You could be mad, you could be upset, you could be scared, you could be frightened, you could be a lot of things, but it's better to just deal with the situation for what it is. Thankfully, the outcome of the situation wasn't worse. And just move on. Take it not with a grain of salt. You take your lessons and you take your licks and you move on and you learn to move accordingly better in the future. Make light of the situation. Trump gonna fuck around and get a face tattoo now. Like Mike Tyson and shit. Have half his face tatted or whatever. Trump come out with an ear tattoo and shit or something like that. People was poking fun about it. I seen guys on Instagram, man. Their little videos is hilarious. Their little videos is pretty fucking funny. But, needless to say, man, I'm glad that Trump's okay. I'm glad that he was able to recover, have a speedy recovery. I love the fist pump in the air when he did that. Man, that Trump rally fucking lit up. That Trump rally lit up. You can't tell me that he's not going about to be the next motherfucking president, man. They got Joe Biden up there. He did a press conference saying that he was concerned for Donald Trump and he's glad he's okay and everything. And he's trying to call him. He's getting on the phone. He's trying to call him. Donald Trump probably going to answer the phone like, I'm the next president, right? You might as well just stop. He already stopped. After I did that video where I was making fun of both the parties a little bit, both the candidates a little bit, and their cabinet a little bit. Donald Trump got on there where he was going to play golf, and he even said it himself. He's like, yeah, he's not going to run no more. He knows this one's in the bag. He knows he lost. All we got to do is worry about Camilla now, and shit like that. And, my views, my point of view be in line with a lot of mainstream point of view. So, I already would have a thought or have an opinion on something that would fall in line with exactly what's going on. And with the outcome is normally exactly the way or similar to the way that I see it coming along, you know what I mean? Or coming to fruition. It's just, I always had an uncanny, unnatural knack for that type of thing. You know what I mean? When I see something or I see a scenario playing out, right? But the outcome hasn't come up yet. I can normally guess what the outcome will be. You know what I mean? I never would have guessed. Well, I'm not going to say I would have never guessed, because a lot of people talk shit about Donald Trump for a long time, for President Trump for a long time, man. And, to be honest with you, I'm glad to see that didn't happen before. You know what I mean? But I thought that somebody would have been, the way that they've been hating on Trump and everything like that, the way Democrats been hating on Trump and things like that, is just, I thought that they would have been tried some crazy shit. I mean, they did try to get him impeached and locked up and all types of things, and he just keeps on coming out on top. Every time the Democrats try to throw some shit on Trump's name or throw some shit in his way, or try to, get him on some type of indictment or in some type of court and get him locked up or whatever, Donald Trump just sidesteps the bullshit. He just sidesteps the bullshit every time. Donald Trump is the king of sidestepping some bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's probably what happened when he turned his head slightly. He sidestepped that motherfucking sniper bullet that could have took his life. God bless him. He's a hell of a dude, man, to keep on coming out on top, even throughout getting shot. Because I'd have been bitching. I ain't gonna lie, I'd have been bitching. As soon as I'd have known, hit the ground. That's it. I would have tucked, ducked, and rolled, got the fuck up out of there. Wouldn't have been no fist pumping. I wouldn't have been worried about my shoes. I wouldn't have gave a fuck how much they cost. I would have stopped, dropped, and rolled all the way to the vehicle, into that motherfucker, and told the driver to pull the fuck off. No bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. He got that. He definitely got that. It took balls of steel. Took cojones to do that. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. He played the situation so well. It was like a movie the way it all happened. It was like a fucking movie the way it all happened. I'm telling you. They're gonna make a movie about this shit. From the sniper's point of view and from Donald Trump's point of view, and what led up to the sniper doing this shit, you know what I mean? Mark my words, they're gonna have a fucking movie about this shit. Shit crazy. Shit's bugged out. Because he played it too fucking smooth. And I mean, he came out all heroic and you know what I mean, with the fist pump with blood on the side of his face. I can't get that image out my fucking mind. I really can't. I said, what in the fuck? My son was looking at it like, what in the hell, daddy? I said, yeah. This was going on. You know what I mean? Shit. Love the way he handled it. Everybody. You can't help. That was some G shit right there. That was some G shit right there. Donald Trump did. Goddamn, getting up. Where my shoes at? Black power. Getting the fuck up out of there. You know what I mean? He even gave you one more fist pump before he jumped in the Cadillac. Yeah, he right out the Cadillac door. You know what I mean? Let you know, like, you ain't phasing him. You ain't phasing that man. He done been through shit upon shit upon shit, upon a good moment, upon more shit. He done been through it. He been through the ringer. You're not gonna crush this man. He's unstoppable. They don't want to lock him up. The courts won't do nothing to him. You know, he's protected by his office. He's protected by God at this point. At this point, the creator is protecting that man. He's a hell of an entertainment. He's a hell of an entertainer. He's a showman. And he's a good president because people know that he don't tolerate bullshit. He's a hell of a bullshitter. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, but he don't tolerate no bullshit. He's a businessman. He is a businessman, just like Jay-Z say. He the president. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. He the president again. Barack probably somewhere. Barack Obama probably looking at it like, yeah, he's president again, Michelle. Yes, he is. Yes, he can. Yes, we can. He's going to be president again, Michelle. Yes. I'm telling you, I guarantee you. That's the type of motivation you got to have, though. That's the type of spirit. That's the type of tenacity you got to have to make it through any fucking situation, man. Any situation. That's the type of tenacity you got to have. You got to have that. I'm getting shot at. I'm getting grazed by bullets. My feet, my shoes got knocked off my motherfucking feet somehow. And I'm going to get up, grab my shoes, and I'm going to fist pump in the fucking air. Let you motherfuckers know that I'm okay. And I'm going to make it through this situation. I'm going to get in my Cadillac. I'm going to get the fuck on out of PA. That man did it, man. That's the type of spirit you got to have, man. Dealing with anything that you dealing with in life, man. You got to have that type of get up and go, that type of drive, that type of commitment. That's all it takes. They say success happens when preparation and opportunity meets. You know what I mean? His courage, the bravery that he showed, his heroism, to be able to take that grazed bullet on the side of his head. That's the only reason I don't believe that it was staged. That's why I don't believe it was staged. Because would nobody allow a stage shooting like that for somebody to graze their fucking ear? That's like, whoa, like, hold on. That was real. That was fucking real. For him to get his ear grazed, that's too close to being a fatal wound. You know what I mean? For him to show courage through that and just take that shot and still be able to get up, fist pump, and be worried about where his shoes is at. You know what I mean? Showed me that he's presidential material. He's a fucking warrior. He's a soldier, man. And that's what we all got to have in us. That's the type of spirit that I strive to have in me. No matter what I go through, no matter how many times I get kicked while I'm down, no matter what the situation I'm going through, I'm always put my best foot forward and keep on moving on in the direction I feel like I got to move on in. You know what I mean? The way we carry on may not be right to a lot of others. It may not seem possible or plausible to another person's point of view. But your journey is your journey alone. And as long as you on that journey and you carrying that integrity and you carrying that tenacity and you carrying that spirit of moving forward and moving on, hopefully you moving on in the direction that you're supposed to move on. And hopefully you're doing the things that's more progressive to you and your situation. But more than likely, when you're on your journey, nobody else is going to really understand what your journey calls for and what you're going through and how you're supposed to move in those moments. The best thing to do in those moments of turmoil or whatever it is you're going through, you got to be still. You got to be still, but not still in the way where you're not doing nothing. You're just going to let yourself just be still and fold to a situation. You got to be still and think and still work and do something towards your future and think, what's next? What's after this? What's going to happen after this situation? What's going to happen after I'm done with dealing with all this bullshit that I'm going through now? What's next? In that moment of being still, that's what you should be doing. That's when you should be preparing for what's next. What's next in life for you? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can't help but be still in a situation. You can't help but not have movement. You know what I mean? It's like certain things happen and certain things transpire, and you looking at all the cards, you adding up all the cards. You know what I mean? It's like, right now, I just better be still and just see what I could build from right here where I'm at. That's what I've been doing for a long time. I just been building wherever I've been at. Like wherever I'm at, I build. Wherever I'm at, I try to help out, and I still try to do work towards my vision, my goals, and still achieving things. You know what I mean? Right now, I might not have any money in my pocket, but I'm not broken. I'm not broke because broke means that you're broke spiritually, mentally. You know what I mean? Physically, I'm not broke. Finance don't equal brokenness. That means you just ain't got it. If you don't got it, you don't got it. You know what I mean? And it's like, even in those moments, you gotta, when you feel like you're missing something or you're lacking something, whether that be money, whether that be love, whether that be whatever it is, you have something that you could do to feel fulfilled. You have something that you could do. You have an avenue that you could take to feel contentment and feel like you're still achieving what you need to achieve. And that's working on your goals, man. That's working towards whatever dream, utilizing your craft, utilizing your talent to prepare yourself for that opportunity to come. So when that opportunity comes, you'll already be prepared for it, and then you'll succeed. You know what I mean? I succeed. You know, I have small victories all the time. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, that you know that brings me joy. Besides my kids and all of that, what brings me joy is the small achievements that I make. When I make a song and it's just right, that's an achievement. When I write a book and I know it's going to be a great book and people's going to buy it and people's going to read it and people's going to, see what I'm going through and I'm going to get my message and my point across. You know what I mean? That's an achievement. When I make a podcast where I can have a clear thought and articulate myself well, that's an achievement. That's what this podcast episode is to me. You know, that's what I'm going to tell you. Completing this last book, The Course of My Life, right? Completing this last book has given me more, has given me more of a, it's given me more energy to do what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? It allowed me to almost go through a therapeutic process. Not almost, it allowed me to go through a therapeutic process by myself and get more of who I am out there in the open to the public, right? So this way, I won't feel like I'm holding anything back. I don't want to feel like I'm holding things back when I'm doing my podcast, right? I don't want to feel like I'm not being genuine in my podcast because people watching when you're not being genuine, when you're not being real, when you're not presenting all the information. And for a lot of times I did my podcast, I wouldn't be saying completely what's on my mind. For one, because I'm not having a clear, concise thought because I'm doing too much and I'm trying to be in the moment and make sure everything's right. But also because I'm hiding, I'm hiding certain details. I'm not revealing everything, right? And when you're not revealing everything, it's like you got this hang up, you got this, you got this mental block right there because you're trying to hold something back, but you're trying to tell something at the truth. You're trying to give a truth without giving the complete truth. And that's why you can't really articulate your words at times. That's what I feel. So me writing that book and knowing that people's going to look at it, people's going to read it, people's going to get to know me and my situation and why I am who I am today allows me to think and speak freely on my podcast. It may sound weird, but me succeeding in doing my book helped me be a better podcaster. Me being a better podcaster is going to help me be more successful in my music and my musical endeavors. Every avenue that I take, to succeed or to grow or to put my time and energy into and put my works into, right? It helps me perfect or gain proficiency in another part of my craft and in my talent and help me utilize more of me and help me really just show who I am, really allow me to be the person I'm meant to be. Because a lot of us in the neighborhoods, in the black community or whatever you want to call it, I don't really like referring to us as black, but I don't want to get off on that. But many of us in the black community, we don't do therapy. We look at therapy like it's sucker shit, like that's for white people. Therapy is for white people. But no, it's not. Therapy is for everybody. Everybody needs some type of therapy, some form of therapy, somebody to listen to, somebody to talk to, somebody to understand, somebody to get your point of view. And if you don't have nobody to really confide in or talk to and things like that, and you just holding all that stuff in and you just bottling it all up, one day you're going to explode, man. One day you're going to explode, or one day you're just gonna become nothing. Like you're just gonna become a big ass stress ball. You know, it's like you're just gonna become a big ass stress ball where anything could trigger you, anything could hurt you, anything could, just because you always felt misunderstood and you never really got a chance to really get your point of view off or let people know what's going on with you. You know what I mean? And there's so many people like that in life today. And fucking Sniper probably needed somebody to talk to. He definitely needed somebody to talk to. But now he ain't got to worry about that. His ass gonna talk to God. But that was just a joke I thought about. But damn, man, it's like writing that book, man, and really talking about my childhood, talking about things that I went through with my wife, talking about the things I went through with my relatives, right? Thinking about betrayal, thinking about my entrepreneurship and what I'm trying to build. Man, speaking about those type of things, talking about my journey and becoming who I am, the man that I am today, man, it helped me to just get a lot off my mind, a lot off my chest. You know what I mean? It was definitely a therapeutic process, man. I cried while I was making that book. I cried during episodes of my podcast as well, but I cried writing that fucking book. I talked about my grandmother and and the love that I had for her and the love that she had for me. And things that I've been through, man. It's just, damn. It's just, damn, man. That shit was powerful. That shit touched my soul just to, get that out there. Get a part of, a huge part of my story out there. And I didn't even say everything in that book. Some things didn't come to mind to write. Some things just wasn't meant for me to write in this book. But you know, there's more to come. There's definitely more to come. It just it was an experience. It was an experience that I loved, and that's why I could tell you that there's definitely more books coming. You know, something like that to pour your heart, your soul, and the things that you've been through, pour it out on a page. And just allow people to see who you are, you know what I mean, from your point of view, and the things that you believe or the things that you've been going through, whatever. It was touching, and I want to say this from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you to the ones who out there who genuinely look at my podcast and who see what I'm going through, and you continue to support me, and you continue to be a fan, not even a fan, just a supporter. You know what I mean? Whether you subscribing, whether you listen to my music, whether you read my books, whether you enjoy my gaming content, whatever it is, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me and understanding me. You know what I mean? And giving me a chance to be a part of your life. You know what I mean? Cause what do we have in this life if we don't have each other? I got a saying that I always say: how else do we experience God's grace and mercy if God's not here in the flesh to give it to you? And the answer is through each other. Through each other is how we experience God's grace and mercy. Through each other is how we live, learn, grow, and love. It shows sympathy and empathy to somebody for their situation and what they've been going through. Because hurt people hurt people. But it takes a special type of hurt person to know that the answer is not hurting other people. The answer to your own hurt and your own pain that you've been going through in your life, the answer is not hurting other people. It's not going to make you feel better. I try to tell my daughter that sometimes because she'll give me attitude for nothing. For no reason I get attitude and things like that. And I tell her, like, look, you got to stop doing the attitude-y thing. You know what I mean? Because it's not becoming of a young lady. Nobody wants to be around a person with an attitude all the time. Nobody wants to, um, feel that way all the time. We all just want to be loved, be played, be playful and things like that and be happy. You got to be happy. You know what I mean? A young woman, especially a young woman who I love, who is my daughter, she should always be happy. I know a lot of her unhappiness comes from things that we dealt with in the past and our family being broken up and things like that. And it's like, there's nothing we could do about that. There's nothing we could do about that but work towards our family being strong once again, our family being united and together once again, and having an attitude for no reason, or just the smallest of things could trigger you to start crying or start stomping off or hitting or screaming or yelling and cursing at people. It's like, that's not going to help us be together. That's not going to help our family, forge that bond again and get back together. That's only going to cause more trouble and more conflict. You know what I mean? And, that's children don't understand that, so we have to teach them. All these lessons, man, I learned because I've been observing others. I've been observing myself and the situations that I go through, and just, taking, standing still and just watching everything and thinking, really thinking about things, you know what I mean? And trying to understand the things that I go through and the things that I observe others go through is where I get, my knowledge from. Where I get my knowledge from is just watching situations, observing my own situation, sitting and thinking and trying to get in a deep meditation and trying to see things from multiple point of views. You know what I mean? Because all of us got our own point of view. There's a duality to every situation. There's a duality to us. So there's a duality to them. You know what I mean? There's a duality to how they think and how I think. You know what I mean? So you got to take into account for all of that, man. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. Today was a memorable day. I can say that. I can say that for sure. Because that shit was shocking, man. I thought today was going to be the best day. I already felt good today. I felt great today about releasing my book. And then I hear Trump, you know, getting shot at and stuff like that. And it was like, man, today is a memorable day. It's bittersweet. It's bitter because this happened to Donald Trump, and it's sweet because I released my book today. And it's a memorable day. Not for only Trump getting up with the blood on his face and fist pumping America, you know what I mean, letting us know that he's a strong ass guy, but it's also memorable because today that happened, and before that happened, I released a book. So now I got this story that I could tell how I stayed up all night releasing this book, called The Course of My Life by Mark Pagan Jr. That's my author's name. So if you're looking for me on bookshelves, it's not Mr. Pagan. It's Mark Pagan Jr. on bookshelves. On Amazon. It's Mark Pagan Jr. And the book is called The Course of My Life. But now I got that story, where I can say, man, I dropped my book. I took a nap. I woke up. I hear about Donald Trump getting shot at and stuff like that. So it's like it coincides with my day. His day. We had this horrible, heroic moment. That he stayed strong and made it out of was the same day that The Course of My Life book dropped. So, it be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes when things align, they just align. Not saying that it's a good alignment or whatever, but when things align and you see like shit is synonymous or in sync with one another, it's like you can't deny the universe. You can't deny the energy of the universe. You know what I mean? We all gonna go through our ups and downs. We all gonna have our, plights and pitfalls, and we all gonna have our moments of joy and happiness and peace. And it's like at times where one of us is on one side of the state, because literally we're in the same state, right? When all this shit happened, it's like one of us could be on one side of the state, just happy as hell, and the other one of us is over there just experiencing some bullshit happening. You know what I mean? I'm sure his day didn't start off on a bad note. I'm sure his day was going great up until that moment happened. And it just threw me through a loop. I was like, what the fuck? I'm glad to see he's okay. I'm glad to see my book is on more shelves now as well, being available. That segue was horrible, but it was my segue nonetheless, man. Got more music coming out. I didn't even talk about my music much. I just let y'all know I worked on the music and I put it out. I got a song called In the End. It's a party song, upbeat party song. In the end, you prepared to roll, 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 roll. You prepared to roll, roll, roll. That's out there. That's on Audio Mac and SoundCloud right now, and it's on its way to all streaming platforms. I got a song called Some Feelings. Is it Some Feelings? I don't know. I got a song called Beautiful that I put out previously and had to update it because my hook was a little scratchy. I didn't like the way the hook of my song sounded. I was hitting this note going into the hook. This yeah, some shit like that, and I didn't like it. So what I did was I just updated it. I took it down. I recorded a new hook on there and just put it back out. Basically, it's called Beauty. That's coming out. So we got In the End. We got Beauty. It's another song. I got my phone right here. I don't want to go into the phone and pull it up, but it's 3 songs that I've made, within a week. And that book, man, giving you some behind the scenes. The Course of My Life, this book, this publication for me, literally took me 3 or 4 days to write. 3 or 4 days. That's the power that you have to complete anything when you put your mind to it. It took me less than a week to write this book and have it out there. I'm proud of it. I'm sure that I made some mistakes in my book. I like to make up words at times. And if you read my book, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's written in my words. It's a book that's not, it's not ghost written by anybody. is no outside influence into what I'm putting into this book. It's all me. It's all just raw, uncut, 100% grade A me. And that's what I put in there. Um, I'm not lying in this book. I didn't hold too many punches in this book, but I know the next installation, because this may be a book that has series to it. So you might see a The Course of My Life Volume 2, right? Where I'm going into different things about my life, but that'll take me a little while to put together and piece together, because I'm still working on another book, right, called Moonlit Marshes, which I talked about previously. And you know what I mean? With these titles is going to be coming back to back, but this, if there's a volume 2 of in the course of the course of my life, right, it's going to take a while to write, because I got to compare and compile what I didn't put in the first book and what I'm putting in the second book. You know what I mean? Um, Look, I don't know my exact age. I'm between 35 and 38, right? But that's a long life to live for you to only get one book out of it, right? That's a long life to live for it not to be a series. So, I'm just keep on writing. When I have new experiences and new endeavors and things like that, there's another book coming. Um, there's a book coming about the obvious too, about the entrapment situation, about this FBI mob mafia, Masonic Eastern Stars, or whomever is in charge of these organizations that have been fucking with my life and my family's life for a long time. I want to do a full book about that type of shit too. You know what I mean? It's things in the works. You know what I mean? Like I said, I write a lot. You know what I mean? And everything that I write, if I'm not writing rhymes, then I'm writing poetry. If I'm not writing poetry, then I'm writing a book. You know what I mean? If it's not rhymes, poetry, and a book, then I'm thinking about doing something else. But it's just going to keep coming. The work doesn't stop. I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of guys is lucky. A lot of people is lucky right now because I don't got the finance behind me. Imagine, okay, I'm doing all this. No money, all just time, effort, energy, right? And know-how, right? Doing all this with time, energy, effort, and know-how, right? But imagine if I put dollars behind what I'm doing, right? Because time and energy is what we trade to an employer for a paycheck, right? So right now I'm trading time and energy and know-how to myself to make something that's going to ultimately pay me, right? So I'm working for myself, right? That's what an entrepreneur does. They work for themselves. That's all it takes, man. All it takes is ingenuity and know-how to get anything done. You gotta put that knowledge, put that time, put that energy to work. Take your life experience and the shit that you go through and put it to work. A lot of people out here have stories that's worth telling. Has a life that people need to hear about. People want to hear your testimony. People want to know what you've been through in your life. But nobody will ever hear the story because you too scared to tell it. You too scared to say what you've been going through and this and that, you know what I mean? And tell your side of whatever it is. Because trust and believe, if somebody puts you through hell, they telling somebody about it. And you not putting your story out there, your side of the story, is you basically playing victim. You playing victim. Whenever you got a story that's worth movies or worth books or worth music or worth a podcast, you know what I mean? It's like you got to get that out there. You got to stop being scared. You got to stop living in that closet of your mind. You got to stop bottling your heart and your soul up, man, because you wind up exploding and hurting other people, right? So why not do something constructive with all the pain and all the shit that you've been feeling all your life? Why not do something better with it than just let it be a reason for you to abuse drugs or to abuse people or to abuse yourself? Monetize your pain. That's the message I've been giving to a lot of people in my life, man. I meet people who, and I love to talk. I'm a conversationalist, and I would meet people or I would know people, and they would tell me their story or their situation, and I would let them know, like, hey, man, you could write a book. You could really like do a play, do a movie. You got a story to tell. You know what I mean? It's just up to you to tell it. Are you strong enough to tell it? Do you have the intellect to tell your story and to let your story be heard? That's what all the apostles did. Every story that you see in the Bible that's written in a holy book is somebody's story, and they're telling it. At those times, in order for them to write their stories or get their stories heard by the masses and deem them to be prophets, right? They had to go to philosophers to write their books. Either they wrote their books themselves. Some people had to chisel them fucking books in stone and shit like that. It's like now we got these devices, these phones and these tablets and computers and whatnot, and these recorders and these microphones and shit like that. They make it easy for us to let our stories be known. You know what I mean? To get our life out there. You know what I mean? It's like, it's too easy not to be done. I mean, it's hard. It's hard because doing that, you know what I mean? Like I said, I cried while I was writing that book. I cried while I was writing The Course of My Life. Literal tears, man. It made me cry just sitting here talking about it. And it's like, that's the hardest part of creating a book or writing or anything like that, and putting something personal out there about yourself and about your situation. That's the hardest part. The easiest part is actually getting it done, because you got all the material. All the material is right there. Your life is the material. You just have to materialize that material into a book, into a podcast, into a TV show or movie, whatever your pockets can handle or whatever your mind can conceive, or however far your situations will allow you to push your vision and your story and your truth. On that note, I want to thank you all for joining me for this episode of God Concept. Go out there and enjoy this beautiful song, Concept, and many other songs and books and podcast episodes that I'm coming out with soon, man. The ones that I've done and the ones that I'm coming out with soon. Again, if you need promotion, if you need any type of promotion, if you're a brand affiliate, if you're a brand ambassador, and you need space, if you're a business out there who needs space, somebody somewhere to plug your business or your brand or your venue or whatever it is, your event that's coming up. If you want to talk about an event that you have coming up, if you want me to talk about that, just let me know. If you want to be a guest on my show, you know what I mean? We ain't got to meet up in person for you to be a guest on my show. You can give me a call. We can have a on the phone interview type thing going on, where you could talk yourself about whatever it is that you're trying to promote or whatever your vision is. I'll take it. I'll clip it. Of course, it's going to be on the podcast, but I'll take that moment or that interview. I'll clip it and put it all over social media. You know what I mean? I'll write about it. I'll post about it. You can send me pictures of whatever venue, space, or business or brand, whatever it is, whether it's clothing, whether it's whatever it is, whatever type of goods and services that you're offering, just give me the opportunity to promote for you. You know what I mean? Give me that opportunity to promote for you, and I guarantee you, you'll see your revenue go up. You're going to see that I have customers coming to you, and you know what I mean? I make sure that they let you know that God Concept Podcast referred them to your business or your brand or your service. So, thank you. Thank you for watching God Concept Podcast. My name is Mark Pagan. Peace.